Today we're going to talk about, I'm Courtney Feeney, and today we're going to talk about Kathy Shuker's Guide to Everything and the tools she talks about using in the classroom.
And I'm Michaela Merrill.
And I'm Megan Lynch, and today our first tool we will discuss is sketchnoting. Sketchnoting is a visual story created and viewed during a recording of a speaker or reading of a text. It's purposeful images when listening to a story or information. It was created by Mike Road, and more information about Mike Road can be found at the link provided. Sketchnoting is, the purpose of this tool is to visually capture what one is thinking, and it's easy to use because it does not require any artistic abilities, and drawing images at the same time as writing as notes, so it's helpful for the students. And some possibilities include creatively incorporating sketching tools into the notes, whether or not the individual is good at art, and a more interesting approach to note-taking. So this can be beneficial to the students because when they're taking notes, instead of just writing words and words and words, they can stop and draw an image, or they can organize their words with different bubbles or lines that connect to show where the points connect within the notes. It was created in 2008, and that's when it began to be well known within the classroom, and it was last updated continually because it continuously improves notes. It is useful for students and teachers because students have an interactive and fun way to take notes, and it also helps with building memories of the notes when they write or hear it. And this can be beneficial because some students get lost in their notes when they're just writing and they never want to read them at home. But if they have a more fun page of notes or some images on it to help them remember, then they will help memorize them for their tests and quizzes. And this tool is useful because it combines pictures and words into the notes, and it captures and highlights the important parts of the text rather than everything that the teacher says. And 3 reasons that this should be used is because it visually captures what an individual is thinking. It also engages the student in note-taking, which is sometimes hard, especially for students who aren't necessarily interested in the topic being discussed. And it provides an additional means of remembering the information. For example, there's an image as well as the written notes, as well as the narration or the recording or the teacher. And this creates a lot of different ways for the different learning styles of each student to memorize and learn these notes. So overall, sketchnoting is a very good and a very important tool for the classroom. Next, I will discuss the quick response codes. And quick response codes are a special barcode that can be read on camera of a smartphone or a tablet device. It encodes information that one can share with the students, such as text, videos, or websites. These are slowly being developed and implemented within the school, but they are very good use for the classroom. And it was created by Denso Wave, and more information about the creators can be found at this link provided. The purpose of this tool is to quickly share a website, video, or text with the students on their tablets. So students can take their tablet and scan the code, like the barcode on any item you're going to purchase, and it can connect them to a specific website or video that the teacher wants them to read or watch. And this can help them with their assignment. And it's easy to use because all the student has to do is scan the barcode and receive the information that the teacher shared. This is also beneficial to the teacher because the teacher only has to share the barcode with the students and not repetitively share the website as they write down multiple times on the whiteboard or the chalkboard in the front of the room. Some possibilities include that it prevents the teacher from rewriting a website on the board multiple times, which can be take up time from a teacher, which is not very good sometimes in the classroom. It was created in 1994 and it's continually updated with new technology, and it's useful for students and teachers because it saves a teacher from repetitively writing on a website, like I said, or posting a video or sharing a document with the students. This is also helpful because a lot of students tend to lose their documents that the teacher gives them. So if the teacher just has a QR code, then the student can scan it and get the document that they lost. And this tool is useful because it shares information with students as well as incorporates technology within the classroom. And incorporating technology with today's students is important because when they're older and as they grow up, technology is going to be continuously in their lives. So it's important that they slowly learn new technology. And 3 reasons that the QR code should be used within the classroom is because it saves time and repetition for teachers who continually write the same website or information on the board for the students. It's a more organized way and time-efficient way to share information with the students, which is beneficial to any teacher because organization and time efficiency is always key to in an elementary classroom, and it's fun for the students to interactively participate and find the information on their tablet. And these are my references for both of these sources.
So now I will talk about screencasting and digital storytelling. We will begin with screencasting. Screencasting, it's a way of recording your computer screen with some voice over it, and the term screencast was first used by John Udell in an article published to InfoWorld in 2005. More information on John Udell can be found on infoworld.com. There's a link to that. This tool is easy to use because it's adjustable based on skill level. If you're not very tech savvy, you could simply use screencasting to explain some text to your students. Or, if you are more advanced, you could incorporate additional media, such as photos and videos. This tool has the possibility to be used across every subject and every grade in the classroom. The term screencasting was first used in InfoWorld by an article in John Udell in 2005. This tool is useful for students because it allows them to take instruction with them on the go and provides them a visual aid within the instruction. Screencasting is useful for teachers because it allows them to incorporate multiple aspects into one video. Some of these aspects include their voice, videos, animations, and more. Screencasting can be used by teachers and students for classroom instructions and can also be downloaded onto student devices for them to view outside of the classroom. Teachers can create screencasts that specifically align with classroom standards, and screencasts can be used to incorporate UDL elements into all subjects. And here are the references to these things. And next we'll talk about digital storytelling. Digital storytelling was more of a collaborative effort by many people rather than one individual creator. However, there are some individual pioneers in the field. The Our Story page of the website Story Center says this: Dana Ashley, a media producer and interdisciplinary artist, had developed Next Exit, a multimedia autobiography. Among others, he attracted local theater producer Joe Lambert as a collaborator in producing the piece on stage. Together, they discovered that people with little or no prior experience in multimedia could create powerful personal stories in the new digital media technology. In 1994, Joe and Dana, along with Nina Mullen, founded the San Francisco Digital Media Center. Over the next several years, the group redefined a curriculum that became the basis for a community workshop called Digital Storytelling. And you can click here to visit that page and learn more about the individuals. This tool has been made easy to use through certain programs such as iMovie on Mac. There are various tools available to assist students and teachers in creating digital stories. This tool has the possibility to create a collaboration between teacher to students and students to students through the creation of digital stories. In the 1990s, new technologies emerged and allowed for the experimentation that led to digital storytelling. Digital storytelling is useful for students because it allows them to convey ideas in an alternative way. This tool could be used by teachers to convey information in a way that feels more like a movie. And some reasons to use digital storytelling includes digital stories could be used as an alternative way for students to complete assessments. If a student is shy and would prefer to not do a presentation in front of the class, they could create a digital story. This tool is adjustable to different skill levels. The stories could be very advanced and tech savvy, or they could be simpler. Digital stories are a fun and creative way for people to express their ideas in a way that is fun for other people to view. And references to the things mentioned in here are there.
All right, today I'm going to talk about primary sources in the classroom. Primary sources are the raw materials of history, and they're original documents or objects that are used or created during the time under study. You can use primary sources in the classroom, and it's very helpful for students and teachers because it gives the students and the teachers a way to like showcase like different like time periods, and it's also like a visual aid to help students. Examining primary sources gives students a powerful sense of history and the complexity of the past. And you can help students analyze primary sources because, like in the classroom, because you can show them different objects or different newspaper articles and materials. Many places have primary sources available to them. You can find them at the Smithsonian Museum's archives in DC, and you can also visit a state or local archive as well. And you can show students how to find primary sources because they're all like documented, and you can go in and show them how to use like the library and archives to their advantage. Examples of primary sources are oral history and music for like audio, photos, videos, films, and fine art, clothing, tools, and pottery. You definitely see that those are like objects that you can show students. Census data and weather records are actually primary sources because once you keep track of that, you can actually show like what happened then. It's like a good way to like show students different things about what's happening now compared to then. And letters, diaries, and treaties are different examples of text primary sources. One big primary source that a lot of students will connect with is the Diary of Anne Frank. You can showcase, you can do different examples and like different lessons with that because it is a primary source, but it's also like biography, and it's also like a good way to like show what actually happened then. And you can use photographs and different artifacts that you find, like pottery and teeth from like different animals, or even ships, like even like wood from like different ships and stuff. So you can use those as primary sources. Next, to talk about Twitter for Teachers, which it's a supplement for things already being discussed in the classroom. And you can use Twitter to tweet about due dates and assignments, and it's just come up for teachers really. Twitter has just been founded in like 2010, so it's easier for teachers to get connected with students now because a lot of people use social media in the classroom and outside the classroom. You can track a hashtag where you can tell your students to do an assignment and then use the hashtag so you can check up on seeing if they're doing assignments. You can live tweet field trips. So like if a student's at home and they're sick or they didn't get permission, you can tweet pictures and stuff so they can still do assignments. You can send out questions for your students to answer. Maybe you have a day off of school, like a snow day. You can post questions for your students to ask so they don't forget about doing like their homework, or if they have a question, they can ask questions. You can post sample questions for like quizzes and tests and stuff and see if the students actually know the answer. And you can have increased participation in events because you can keep tweeting about them, or you can have increased participation for the assignment or the work. Using Twitter can be very helpful for teachers and students. It creates a fast and easy way to connect outside the classroom. And Twitter can be used to help connect with new people and talk about new topics. You can connect with other teachers and other students, and you can showcase or create a lesson with them. And you can use Twitter to immediately search for topics and new lessons. Teachers can post links to lessons they've done or topics that they've created, and that way you can immediately find new work for your students to do. And then you can also share your work instantly and get responses. So you could share your work and teachers could be responsive to your work and stuff. A lot of different the most tweeted hashtags for teachers and education are hashtag education, hashtag education chat, education tech, college, and hired. You can also use different hashtags to bring up topics such as bullying or like students with disabilities. You can try to get them to learn easier, or you can make a connection with other teachers and other students, so that way you can learn more about how to cope with these problems or create new ways to solve issues. And that's all we have for you today on Kathy Shirker's Guide to Everything from Courtney, Megan, and Michaela.